guys, so I'm finally going to do a breastfeeding video. So many of you have been asking me what products I use, my journey to get to breastfeeding. Little A, it's been about 4 months, and I just want to kind of break down the real deal and how it's been. So I know from when I was pregnant that I wanted to breastfeed. My sister breastfed her boys almost 2 years. All of my girlfriends had breastfed their babies. And I just knew it was something that I really wanted to try, but I also had heard that it was really painful. But I'm here to tell you that it is painful. Like, dare I say, the first couple weeks is more painful than my natural water birth. Seriously. I had no idea that it was going to take that much time and energy, but it also was absolutely worth it. So, I'm like, where am I? Okay, sorry, there is something called mom brain. I'm all over the place. But I do want to tell you guys, breastfeeding is so fantastic. It's awesome. You can do it. Your body was built for it. So after I had Little Amazing, I was like, okay, I'm ready to breastfeed. The midwife put her on my chest. And I'm like, okay, like, am I doing it? Am I doing it? And we had gone through all these classes, and I remember, like, okay, the latch has to be, like, the baby has to put their whole mouth over the boobie. They actually call it a boobie sandwich. So I'm, like, making sure she's latching on right, but it just didn't feel like anything was coming. And my midwife and my doctor and pediatrician just kept reminding me that the baby's stomach is as big as a marble. So you really don't have to produce that much milk in the first couple of days. So don't stress. But after the second day of not feeling like anything was coming, Mr. A and I decided to give her some formula to supplement until my milk fully came in, which of course I overreacted and freaked out. I remember sitting in this chair thinking like, oh my God, what if my milk doesn't come in? My doctor's like, no, your milk will come in. Like, even women that choose not to breastfeed, your milk comes in. Like, if anything, you're gonna have to figure out how to get that milk from stop coming in so quickly. So we did supplement Little Amazing with some formula for the first couple of days, and then actually was a godsend because I was still pumping, trying to really get that milk to flow. But then Daddy did all those night feedings the first couple of days, and actually he did night feedings the first couple weeks because by day 3 my milk came in, thank God. But what people don't tell you is your milk is not white when it first comes in. They call it liquid gold because it literally looks like gold. It was crazy. I remember looking down thinking, oh my gosh, is this orange juice or something? It was wild. But that's because it's just packed with tons of nutrients, and there's a reason why the fat content in your milk is different when they're a baby versus when they're like Millie's age right now. I was hardcore trying to help my milk produce as quick as possible. So I just want to go over some of the things that I did to really get that milk production started and going. So first things first, mother's milk. This stuff doesn't taste the best, but it really helped with milk production. Let me tell you some of the things that it's in there. So fennel, coriander, fenugreek, which by the way, I also took, fenugreek tablets because I knew that I wanted to produce a ton of milk, and I actually ended up starting to pump right away because Mr. A offered to do all those night feedings. So it was awesome because I would go to bed at like 11 o'clock, and then he would wake up around 2:30 to feed Millie, and then around like 5:30, 4:35, then he would feed Millie. So I started pumping right away. I don't have a fancy pump. It's just the pump over here that I got through my insurance. But I kind of hated how I could only use it if I was by an outlet. Like, that just bugged me so bad that I had to like sit here in this chair like a cow and just like plug these, you know, bottles to my boobs and then just hear this noise like I'm literally about to freak out just thinking about that sound. So I had read that another mom swore by manual pumping. So I got this guy, which I think I spent like $30 at the most on this. Okay, this is my breast friend. I'm telling you, I just put this to my breast, go like this, and milk just flows out. And actually, I love using it when I'm breastfeeding on one side. So when Millie's feeding on one side, Sometimes I go on the other breast and start expressing the milk, and then I have like 6 ounces. Now, I know that some women don't produce as much milk as me, but I'm telling you, some of these products that I'm gonna share with you guys, I really feel like has helped my milk production tremendously. And this is also great because, like, if I leave the house and I get my nails done and I run errands, even if Mr. A is watching Millie, my boobs will still get engorged. And so a lot of times I have to relieve them. And so I'll just do a quick pump the parking lot. I've done this during hair and makeup on set. It's really discreet, it doesn't make noise, and then you can actually take this part off, put a cap on it, or I can pour this directly into a bottle. Alright, so I have tried so many lactation cookies, and I've even made them myself, but then you have to buy all those ingredients, you have to roll the dough, bake them. A lot of times lactation cookies are dry and they don't taste good. These are really yummy, and they kind of remind me of truffles, so look at this. Okay, it is supposed to be like this. They're usually little balls. I think I actually squished it in the fridge. Oh, these are so good. And I love what she says because she actually was like, you know, she never had time to eat between feedings because you're just so famished because your baby is literally taking like all your nutrients and energy. And so it's almost like a meal. Okay. Oh my God. It's so moist, it's like falling apart. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, those cookies are so good. I'm telling you, Mr. A would kill me, but he even eats them. Like, I've seen him sneak them before because they're that good. I'm like, hey, those are for my milk production. He's like, no, this is all a scheme for women just to eat cookies. But the biggest thing that I think helps me with milk production is water, agua, H2O. I try to drink as much water as possible. I mean, obviously breast milk is 80% water, so if you are staying hydrated, it's really gonna help. And at night when I am breastfeeding or I'm pumping because little A is sleeping through the night now, I always have my 2 bottles right beside me so I can just be downing water. But I've been breastfeeding 4 months now. I plan on breastfeeding at least a year, most likely a year and a half. Obviously, little A will start eating solids around 6 months. But I do want to tell you, I did get mastitis once during this journey, and it is a real thing. It's so tough. I chose not to take antibiotics. Something happens a lot of times when women are breastfeeding where the milk gets clogged in the milk duct. I'm pretty sure that it happened because I slept through the night because I was so tired and I didn't want to wake up and pump because Millie's sleeping and they said when the babies sleep, mommy's supposed to sleep. But I truly think that because I slept through the night, my breasts got so engorged that my milk ducts did get clogged and I got mastitis. And I chose not to take medicine. Instead, I just fed her as often as possible. I used a little heating pad. By the way, I am allergic to cats. This is like the only cat thing I own. My friend gave it to me. But I did put heat on the breast and it felt so good. And I just worked it out. And the only way you can work it out is just continue to pull that milk out. And so try to get your baby to feed as often as possible. And if you are getting sore nipples, which can happen, it shouldn't happen often if your baby's latching correctly, so you guys totally should look into seeing a lactation specialist if that happens. But I love this natural nipple butter. You can put it on your breast, your baby can feed right after, it's easy, and I haven't even used that much of it, so that's a good thing to have. Are you ready to burp yet? Okay, I got a hungry hippo on my hands. Now that she's older, she breastfeeds super quick, but sometimes she just likes to hang out and go to sleep. Alright guys, I think that's everything that I've experienced through my breastfeeding journey. I will be putting the products that I love down below. Let me know in the comment box below if there's any questions you have or any other videos you want me to do about being a mommy or little Millie. But I think that's it, and don't forget, it's so worth it, so don't give up. You guys can do it. I believe in you, and yeah, happy breastfeeding. Bye.